Hello friends, welcome to my channel Cbse sir. Today we are going to do class 10th Cbse board chapter 7. This is syllabus of your term 2 exam and this is very important chapter and it may be there will be one or two question in your examination. Okay, that's why we are going to do this chapter. This chapter is divided into three parts. The first part is a pen portrait of traditional Gaon village baker or pader who still has an important place in Gaon culture. Although the Portuguese have left India long back, the second part is a pen portrait of Kurg, which is a beautiful place famous for its coffee plantation and rainforest. The third part talks about the journey of a boy to Assam, the city of tea plantation. The boy Rajbir is impressed by the beauty of the tea plantation and mesmerizing natural beauty of the place. So let's start without wasting any time. We will do first part of the this chapter, a baker from Goa. We will discuss some of the important point of the chapter and summary of the chapter. The part first, a baker from Goa. Here is given introduction of the chapter. This is a pen portrait of traditional Gaon village baker who still has an important place in his society. ये एक पेन पोर्ट्रेट है डिस्क्राइबिंग स्टोरी है अबाउट ट्रेडिशनल गांव विलेज बेकर हु स्टिल हैज़ अ सिग्निफिकेंट प्लेस इन द सोसाइटी. ओके गाइस, तो लेट्स स्टार्ट. गांव विलेज बेकर हु इज स्टिल रिमेंबर्ड बाय गांव्स. ब्रेड मेकिंग इज एन एंशियंट टेक्निक mastered by the Portuguese. They were the lovers of bread. Bread making was an art which needed a lot of expertise and perfection. Mixing, molding, and baking were the areas of specialization of making bread. The loaves were baked in time-tested furnaces. This profession was passionately continued by the descendant of the bakers, and the author used to tell about the story. Okay, the author used to tell us how they were expert in making the bread and baking it into the tested furnace. Okay guys, let's do. This profession was passionately continued by the descendant of the bakers, and the author fondly remembers his childhood days, which remind him of the bakers who used to be their friend, companion, and guide. The baker used to visit the houses twice a day, once in the morning during his selling hours, then again in the evening, returning after selling all his bread. Okay. The jingling thud of the bamboo the baker carried woke them up in the morning. जब बेकर्स अपने ब्रेड को बेचने के लिए निकलते थे तो उनके पास जो बम्बू होता जिसमें ब्रेड को कैरी करते थे उसमें एक जिंगलिंग बेल लगा के रखते थे. जिंगलिंग थर्ड ऑफ द बम्बू. इट मेक द चिल्ड्रेन वोक अप इन द मॉर्निंग and they ran to meet and greet him. Children used to run and meet and greet to the bread seller. They also ran to get the bread bangles, which were especially made bread. As the baker came, he would call the lady of the house and greet her good morning. The bakers, the seller of the bread, used to call the lady of the houses and greet her good morning. The children would be pushed aside and the loaves would be delivered to the maid servant. The author recalls the fresh aroma of the loaves that filled the air. The children would not even brush their teeth and would eat bread bangles made of bread. बच्चे ब्रश भी नहीं करते थे. इट वॉज सो इंटरेस्टिंग एंड अट्रैक्टिव एंड देयर वॉज अ fresh aroma, fresh smell of the bread loaves, and they used to eat it without brushing their teeth. Now, significance of the bread in Gaon culture. Various kinds of breads have always been important in the culture of Goa. On different occasions, different bread would be made. No marriage ceremony was complete until and unless the traditional bowl was served. कोई भी मैरिज सेरेमनी कंप्लीट नहीं मानी जाती थी जब तक कि ट्रेडिशनल ब्रेड बॉल वहाँ पे सर्व नहीं किया जाता था. द लेडी ऑफ द हाउस ऑन द ओकेजन ऑफ हर डॉटर्स मैरिज वुड प्रिपेयर द सैंडविचेस एंड बोलिनिहास वुड बी प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर द क्रिसमस एंड अदर फेस्टिवल्स. नाउ वी विल डिस्कस द अटायर्स ऑफ द बेकर्स. बेकर्स किस टाइप के कपड़े, उनका ड्रेसिंग सेंस क्या होता था, कपड़े कैसे पहन. बेकर वॉज यूजुअली ड्रेस्ड इन अ कबाई. इट इज अ काइंड ऑफ स्पेशल काइंड ऑफ ड्रेस, अ लॉन्ग फ्रॉक रीचिंग डाउन to the knees, or a shirt and a trouser which was shorter than full length ones and longer than half pants. हाफ पैंट से बड़ा और फुल पैंट से छोटा. इट वॉज अ लुक्रेटिव बिजनेस ब्रेड मेकिंग. ठीक है. द बेकर यूजुअली कलेक्टेड हिज बिल्स एट द एंड ऑफ द मंथ. दे यूज टू सप्लाई द ब्रेड to the complete month, and at the end of the month they used to collect their bills. All the accounts were written on a wall in the house with a pencil. और पूरा उनका महीने का जो कैलकुलेशन अकाउंट होता था वो वॉल पे लिखा होता था. किससे? पेंसिल के द्वारा, पेंसिल से लिखा हुआ होता था. Okay guys, since an ancient times bread making has been a profitable business because Portuguese loved bread, and even today bread enjoys great popularity in Goa. The bakers and his family used to be one of the most prosperous members of the society. Okay guys, now we will discuss some important point of the chapter. First point is the Portuguese of Goa loved bread, though the bread eaters have left India, but the bakers still live there. Second point is narrator remembers his childhood days when a baker used to visit their house. The baker was well-bred man. The narrator says that the baker used to be their friend and companion. Next point is he used to come twice in a day, once in the morning and again in the evening while returning home after selling all his breads. Next point, children ran out of the house when they heard the thud of the baker's bamboo. Next is the children loved to eat bread bangles and would peep into the baker's basket. Peep means to look into, झांकना, देखना. Bread was an important part of Gaon culture. Mother would bake special breads for their daughter's marriage, and the marriage were incomplete without popular boiled bread. Baking was a lucrative profession, and the bakers used to earn well, and their families were really well to do. The bakers used to collect their bills at the end of the month, though the traditional bread eaters are no more there, but the bakers and the breads of the Goa are still famous there. Okay? Now we will discuss some of the important meaning. First word is loaves. Loaf means a quantity of bread. Vanished means to be disappear or died. Molders means people who give bread a shape. Furnace means hearth, भट्टी जिसको बोलते हैं. Third means a heavy sound. एक हैवी साउंड, जैसे हम बम्बू को जमीन पर पटकते हैं, रखते हैं, तो उससे एक हैवी साउंड आता है. जिंगल मीन्स रिंगिंग साउंड. एंड हेराल्डिंग मीन्स अनाउंसिंग. Staff means stick, and rebuke means disapproval or scold. Fragrance means scent. Feast means party. Prosperous means marked success. Open testimony, public statement about the character or quality. Okay, I hope First part is clear. You have understood it very well. Even if any doubt, you can write in the chat box. Okay, guys? Now we will discuss second part of the chapter. Okay? Second part of the chapter is Kurg. What is? It is Kurg. Let's discuss this. Kurg, a heavenly place. Kurg is the smallest district. It is situated between Mysore and Mangalore. It is situated in hills and inhabited by martial men and women. Kurg is also known as Kodagu, and there are evergreen forests, spices and coffee plantations, and colonial bungalows. Okay? The origin of these people, they are descendants of Greek and Arabs. A story goes that a part of Alexander's army stayed back and married local women. So the present race is a mixture of both cultures. They wear long black coats, embroidered waist belts, and their dress relates to them Arabs and Kurds. These people are brave and hospitable. They are hospitable and are proud to tell about the bravery of their forefathers. In the Indian Army, the Kurg regiment is the most decorated regiment, and the first chief of the Indian Army was a Kurgi. He was a Kurgi. He was a Kurg person. Water and Kurg life. The river Kaveri gets water from the hill of the Kurg, and a fish Mahasir abounds in this water. Animals like langurs drop partially eaten fruit in water, and kingfishers dive in it. Elephants bath in it. Other adventure places, river rafting,